it's Sam. Before we start with today's video, I just want to do a little bit of promotion. Um, so I currently have my Etsy shop open where I'm selling some paintings, and I'm soon going to be selling some sticker packs. Uh, so yeah, they're gonna be nice stickers that I designed myself. So yeah, if you like my art, or if you like me, or I don't know, whatever, or if you don't know me, feel free to check it out. I would appreciate it. And also, my website for my commissions uh, is up. I'll link both in the description along with my other social media and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and more content, hopefully more art related stuff, because I want to get more into that, but more art related stuff coming soon. Okay, thank you. I don't know if the majority of people feel the same way that I do on this topic, and if like people struggle like I do with this topic, but I feel like it's not discussed enough that it's okay to not be productive 100% of the time. It's okay to feel like you're not doing enough, because you are. You getting up in the morning is enough, and we are not supposed to be productive 100% of the time, especially when it's winter, or when you're feeling depressed, or whatever. You can't use 100% if you're not at 100%. If you're at 30% and you can only give 30%, let me put it this way. If your phone is at 10%, are you gonna keep using it till it dies, or are you gonna put it on the charger? You're gonna put it on the charger. So explain to me, when you're feeling tired and burnt out, why are you bringing yourself to that deep burnt out end and not just taking a pause to recharge yourself? And I don't mean just, oh, well, let me just play some video games or something. Yeah, if that's what you want to do, and if that's what you feel like your body needs and your brain needs, then by all means, go for it. But if you need to sit and stare at the ceiling for a while, you sit and stare at that motherfucking ceiling. It's okay to not be productive. When it's winter time, do you know what everything else, all the nature and all of the animals and everything, you know what everything does? They rest. I'm not saying everything hibernates, but the leaves falling off the trees and then everything kind of being dead, they're resting. Everything is resting until it grows lively in the spring again. So why are we as humans the only species that doesn't rest? We're just go constantly when we are not supposed to go. There's more darkness in the winter. Did you know that, back in fucking farming times, whatever it was, back when we were farmers, like, we got up with the sun and we went to bed with the sun. We're not waking up at 6 in the morning to go to school or to go to work or do whatever you have to do. We're not doing that. We're rising with the earth and falling with the earth, and that's how it should be. And you know what? Maybe it's because I'm a fucking pagan hippie. Maybe it's that. But yes, there are going to be things that in our modern society you are going to have to do, like go to school or go to work, or be productive when you don't want to be. Yes, that's going to happen. I'm not saying give up on those things, but I am saying don't go the extra mile if you are feeling physically burnt out. You cannot recharge your battery if you do not let yourself recharge your battery. And you should not feel guilty about recharging your battery. Because you know what? Every single time I sit down, even sitting down recording this video right now, I'm questioning if there's something that I could be doing better with my life. And I literally want my life to be art and content creation. So why do I feel bad about it? I shouldn't, yet I do. So I feel like it just, if you have anxiety like I do, if you're depressed or like whatever, it's like it's gonna be like this for a long time. I'm not saying that it's just gonna magically get better one day, but things do, you learn how to cope, and things do get better, whether you're like you have a real mental illness and you end up going on medication. That might help you, or if you go to therapy, that might help you. And you know what, if you're doing those things already and it's still not helping, you will have to find ways to cope, and that sucks. And I wish that people didn't have to deal with that. I wish that things were different, and I wish that all of you sweet angels in the world did not have to deal with that. I wish that I didn't have to deal with that, but that's just how it is, and that's how it's going to be. And no, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Not in the slightest. It is not easy. But I feel like if there's something that I learned in the past few years, that you do find ways to cope. At the end of this video, I'm gonna share some tips and tricks that I use to combat my anxiety. It doesn't help 100% of the time, but it helps sometimes. I'm also not a therapist, by the way. This is just a rant that I wanted to do. But anyway, back to my point. I just don't understand why we as a society don't just take a rest. Like, just, even if it's just like, we can still be productive and do everything that we have to do, but just like be less. We're allowed to be less. We shine during the spring and summer. If you ever have seasonal depression, I'm not saying things are perfect in the spring and summer, but seasonal depression is real, and it's a societal thing, and so many people experience it because of our habits. And I just think that that's honestly ridiculous. It shouldn't be like that. But my overall point is, you should never feel guilty about yourself for taking a break. You should never feel guilty. You should never feel like you're not enough, because you know what? Every single step that you do is going to help you. Every single step, whether it's just getting up and brushing your teeth. And if you can't do that, getting up and opening your eyes. Just opening your eyes in the morning. You're making progress. You're making progress to being able to move on, to actually get out of bed, to put the phone down, to get up and do something. You are making progress. So you know what? If your room is a fucking mess and you don't know what to do, and whether it's just a mess to you, like if there's just a few things on the floor, you're like, oh, it gets so messy, or if your room is literally terrible and, you know, maybe there's bugs in it or some shit, or you have dirty food and everything, and dishes and laundry everywhere, because you know what, as much as we don't like to talk about it, people live like that. Whether you haven't showered in a day or you haven't showered in a month, every single step you make is progress. Every single goddamn one, I swear to God. So you are not worthless. You provide something to this world. You provide something. And if you think that you don't, you, all respect, you are a fucking idiot if you think that you provide nothing into this world. Because you do. Because you know what? Even if all you do is wake up and, I don't know, eat a bag of chips, you're getting rid of one of those bags of chips. You're contributing as a society. Every single time you buy something, you're helping the economy. And you know what? Whether you do one of those things or none of those things, whether you have a good job or whether you have a job that you fucking hate. I work at a movie theater. I hate my job. But you know what? I'm helping people have a good day every day, because that's their day to go to the movies and have fun. If you work at a retail store, you're helping someone, and that's your contribution. I know that it's not fair. It's not fucking fair. It's not fair to any of us at all. I understand that, but none of it is your fault, and none of it you should feel guilty about. But yeah, that was my rant. If you can't tell, it was definitely a rant towards not only people who are struggling, but also to myself. But anyways, I just want to share some tips and tricks of what I do to kind of combat my anxiety and stuff like that. And I'm not saying this will work for everyone, because it won't. This is just what works for me, and even it doesn't work sometimes, so this is what I like to try. But basically, me and my boyfriend, we call it a resin list, because we decided to make ours Genshin Impact theme because I really, really love that game. But you can find pretty much any way, and anything that has a sort of in-game currency or anything, or just anything, you can get creative with it. It's just got to be a point system. So basically, you're going to write a list of things that you're gonna accomplish that day. Whether, like, for example, going to school. That's, for me, that's 100 resin. Okay, you're gonna assign everything that you're gonna do that day a point value. Okay, and again, I'm gonna explain this in Genshin Impact terms. So if you don't play the game, like, I'll try to just get you to understand a little bit. But basically, you're gonna have, each thing is gonna be assigned a different value. Okay. And then your max, like your resin cap, in my case, but like the max that you have, well, you don't have to, but the max that you, like, resin that you have for that day is 160. Again, that can be any value that you want to fit whatever theme you're having. But for me, since it's Genshin Impact themed, it's 160. And so I have 160 resin that I can freely use throughout the day. So school, that's 100 resin, that's a lot, but that's because school personally takes a lot out of me. So if school isn't as hard for you, then you can make it less. You can assign any values that you want. But, whether it's school or laundry or homework, you should assign everything, not things like video games, but maybe social time. Like, maybe you have to have, like, sometimes if I go to a social event, I have to have that cost resin. But basically, your max is 160. But there's also a resin bank. So right now I think I have like 500 something in my resin bank, because those are days when I don't use the full 160 resin. Then I will, I'll be able to put that resin in a bank. And then that's, I'll be able to, if I want to do a little extra one day, like, I don't have to, but if I want to do a little extra, I have some extra in the bank to be able to achieve those things. Now, I recommend that if you're a busy person, or just like in general, I recommend that you start by putting like maybe 200 or 300 resin in your bank, just because I know that I'm really busy, so I like actually can't afford to not have resin in my bank because I'm constantly doing stuff. But it really helps me like rationalize and decide what things I should cut out if I'm doing too much and I'm feeling burnt out. Like, it really helps me regulate. But it's up to you to be able to decide how much everything should be and if it will help. But I think that I really like it, and it really, really helps me, because then, if I'm feeling guilty about something, well, look at the list of things that I did and how much resin that was worth. And since it's Genshin themed, it helps me a lot because I love that game. I fixated on that for like a year. So it's really nice. And again, it's not going to work for everyone, but I just like kind of wanted to give a little tip, because that's what I do. I don't have it all figured out. I'm not a therapist, but I am someone who genuinely struggles. So my messages, my comments, my DMs on anything, they're always open. If you ever need anything, anyone ever needs anything, it's always open, because sometimes you just need to talk to someone. And I'm young, and I know that things are gonna be different in the future, and that's scary but also exciting. And you gotta understand that things fucking suck, but that doesn't mean it's gonna suck forever. So I think that's my tip of the day, because I can't think of anything else off the top of my head right now, at least not on this topic. But yeah, so that's my rant. I don't know, I usually don't make videos like this, but I wanted to because I just felt like I had to get it out there. So if you like these kind of more rant style videos, then I'll do more like this. It's no problem. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye guys, see ya.